You know what they say, well, it's done in the dark comes to light. I didn't even Google him because everything seemed so perfect. It was him that actually made me Google him. When I first came back from the States, I was drinking wine, like going through a bottle a day. And then when I would get, you know, go through my bottle of wine, it wasn't always pretty. I messaged this guy actually, and I was like, hey, you know, this is, you know, I'm just doing my pitch about my book. And he was like, girl, no, I didn't supported you one time and I was highly disappointed. So I was like, hi guys, it's your girl, Karina Worldwide, and I am coming back to you with my last video of 2020. Child, the ghetto. But guess what? We made it. That's right. We did it, Joe. We did it. Like, y'all, when I tell y'all I'm done with 2020, finito. Finito. But I don't know if you guys can hear that, but that is definitely a plane flying super, super low. And the reason why you're probably gonna hear a lot of background noise in this video is because I am not at home. This is not my usual background, as you know. I am in Peru. So I am in Lima, Peru. So one of my goals for 2020 was to travel to 5 countries and hit my 5th continent before January 2021. Do y'all think I hit that goal? No, definitely not, because COVID was like, girl, sit down somewhere. And guess what I did? I sat. Well, I didn't really sit because I'm in Peru, but I just chilled a little bit. I ventured out here and there, but it wasn't like how I was going years past. But anywho, I am in an Airbnb in Peru, and it's in an apartment building. So if you guys hear vacuuming and noise in the background, I'm so sorry. There's this guy, I think he's on the 3rd floor vacuuming. He's been vacuuming for the past, he's been vacuuming on and on for the past hour. Like, sir, if you can't get it up by now, it's just not gonna get up. Then there's a lady playing reggaeton across the hall, and I know it's a lady because I keep hearing her scream, Paquito, 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 Paquito. And then it's like, girl, okay, we know you know the words. You ain't gotta keep yelling, Paquito, 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 Paquito. And that's the only thing she keeps yelling. So if you hear noise in the background, take it for love, know that I can't help it. I'm in a different country. I think I'm gonna give traveling a rest until like February or so because, bum, 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 I am going back to China. I'm going back to China. Yes, I just got a new position and I will be going back to China the end of February, hopefully. Let's see how the China embassy in DC wants to treat me, because the first year it was hell getting my paperwork back. So I'm praying that everything goes smooth and I'll be back in China. So let's talk about 2020 in Karina's world. Let me get my notebook, cause y'all, 2020 was a thing for the books. Like, I feel like, you know how usually people put so much pressure on you to do all of this stuff in one year? You have this much time, you could be making this much money. You're sitting on the couch and not doing what you need to do. Get up, get out. For 2020, if you are still here and you're still mentally stable and you're surviving, hats off to you, because 2020 was not an easy year. Like, days when my glasses don't fog up because of my mask and I can actually see, that's a success story for me. It's the success story in 2020 for me. So these are my goals that I write. This is my 3rd year actually writing out my goals. So each year, between the 25th to the 30th, I write out all of my goals for the year. So these are some of my goals. And then what I do is I then break them down by month. So that's January, February, March, April, May, June, July, so forth and so forth. Now, y'all see how empty these pages look? It's because January, I was doing all right. I came back to the States for what was supposed to be just a month of vacation time before going back to China. And then COVID was like, girl, sit down. And so I just stopped planning. I was at that point where I was just like, I just gotta do what I gotta do to survive. And I just forgot about planning. I went through my goals for 2020 and I highlighted the goals I did accomplish. And y'all, I felt so happy because you know how like you're just going through day to day and you don't realize you're accomplishing so much because you're so used to just going? When you finally sit down and look at the goals you set for yourself the year before for that year, you're like, wow, like kudos to me. Like I knocked a lot of stuff out that I wasn't even noticing I was knocking out. But let's see, let's start with reflections. First things first, the most important thing for me is praying more. So that was one of the goals I put down for 2020. I'm gonna be honest with y'all and super transparent. There are many a days where I just get up and go and I don't even stop to say, thank you God for, allowing me to get up. Thank you God for, setting me on my way. Thank you God for, me getting back safely so I can start the next day. And so I've been a little more intentional about giving thanks every day, and some days I still slip. It'd be like 4 o'clock in the afternoon before I'm like, oh, I'm breathing. Thank you, God. Second was reconnecting with my paternal family. So I'm very, very, very close with my mom's family, like super, super close. Like I'm talking annual cabin trips, cruises, family, holidays, all of that good stuff. We're super close, very close, but I sound like Trump. Very close, yeah, very, very, very super close, because we're that close and we're close, yeah. But I have never really had a close relationship with my dad's side, and we're being transparent. I can't say that I've ever really wanted one. You can't miss what you never had. So this year, one of my goals was to get a little bit closer and learn more about my dad's family. And so I spent some time in Houston with, my cousins, my aunts, that most of them I had never met before. And it was just so chill. It was just for a weekend, but it was so chill to just, y'all, this just might be me, but like my last name is Henry for anyone that doesn't know. So Karina Henry, the cat's out the bag. My last name is not Worldwide, it's Henry. So my maternal family, their last names are not Henry, of course. So just being in a room with people and we're all having the same last name, to me, and this might be a small thing to some people, but to me it was like, wow. Like my cousins, shout out to Christina, Brianna, Auntie Sharon, Auntie Arlene, everyone that I met. And my younger cousin, Brianna, came in the house because she was taking a test. And I was already there at her house, and she pulls up and her bag said Miss Henry. And I don't know why, to me, I was like, wow, like I'm really around family and we all have the same last name. Like that was dope to me. Like it was just crazy to me because I was like, yeah, I want more of this. I hadn't spoken to my dad's dad in so long. And like I said, like I'm super close with my mom's side. So I've never really felt like that gap. Like, how people, when they're like adopted or they've never really had that family, they tend to search out looking for it. I've never felt the need to search out because I was like, okay, I got family. I'm actually planning next month or in February before I go back to China to spend some time with him down there in Florida. So that's going to be, like, I'm excited to do that because I haven't seen my grandpa in maybe once or twice in like 10 years. So that'd be super cool. So I also started new business ventures, and I'm really proud about that because I've never said I wanted to be an entrepreneur. My thing was, I want to travel. I want to live life. That's it. I never really thought about starting my own business and putting my name on something, getting an LLC, none of that. So this year I started Karina Worldwide LLC, which is a company that provides people who are interested in living and traveling abroad with different services and resources, which include like employment assistance and job placement. And that actually makes me happy because you guys know I love traveling. I love exploring the world. So if I can open that door for other people who are interested in traveling and maybe they don't feel comfortable just going out and doing it themselves like I did, like at least there's a helping hand. So I was able to start that. Karina's Virtual Learning Academy for ESL learners. So you guys know the reason why I was in China was because I was teaching. And so when I came back to the States in January, the school I was working for in China, they were like, okay, well, we have to go to virtual learning because most of the foreign teachers were in their native countries. We were all on holiday. So I'm working, doing my job. I was also the only Black teacher at my school, which is typically okay. I don't care about that. But there was animosity between the other teachers because some of the parents would, give me kudos and ask if their kids could be moved to my class from the other teacher's class. There was so much going on. So when we went to virtual learning, I think what happened was one of the students' parents in another girl's class, I call her Lazy Lou. One of the parents whose kids she teaches complained to the school and asked if they could be placed in my class. Whole bunch of stuff happened. The superintendent actually, because of this situation, was just like, you know what? You need to dim your light and allow the other teachers to shine. Verbatim. In April, I received a letter that was firing me, telling me my services were no longer needed, and that was that. No need to come back to China. They were not going to pay my rent anymore. Once again, when you're in China as a teacher, most times the schools will either pay your rent or they'll give you a stipend so you can pay your own rent. But they was like, girl, you've been evicted. Stay where you at in America. We don't need you. I don't know why. For the big boob beauties, you already know, because I was like, no. We don't do that. So I reached out to the parents and was just like, yeah, they're trying to fire me, blah, blah, blah. The parents then complained. And so they hired me back. So basically, when the borders closed, I couldn't go back. And then that's when they really could say, we can officially fire you now because you can't make it back to work. So what did I do? I reached out to the parents once again and said, hey, you know, I've been teaching your kids virtually. Are you interested in continuing these services? And so I had 20 kids in my class. 16 of them stayed on for me to teach them virtually. So then light bulb, dim the light? No, make it shine brighter. So what did I do? I started Karina's Virtual Learning Academy for ESL learners. I was able to hire my first employee in September. We have morning classes, and those are the classes for students who are not returning back to the classroom. There are parents, of course, who are still like, you know, they're scared for their children's health and safety, so they still want them to learn virtually. So we have morning classes, and then we have afternoon classes, which is more like tutoring sessions because the students are still going back to school. Another thing I started was OnlyFans. And it's funny, I can talk about it now, but when I started seeing people post things like, girl, why y'all over here talking about me making my money on OnlyFans? I just bought this house. I was like, bread, you say. Cash moolah, you say. Let me try it out. The thing they didn't know was Karina was never gonna get naked. I think that's why so many guys subscribed, because they thought like she's getting naked. No. One of my closest friends calls me a scammer because of this, because I was posting like bathing suit pictures, things that I would post on social media, on Instagram and Facebook. But what I did was I would blur it out or put like hearts and different emojis over it so it looked like, you know, gave the appearance of what it, you know, could be. And then they would pay, and then it'd be like, surprise. So when I came out with my book, my children's book, I messaged this guy actually, and I was like, hey, you know, this is, you know, I'm just doing my pitch about my book. And he was like, girl, no, I didn't supported you one time and I was highly disappointed. So I was like, but yeah, I made, I think it was like a little under 3,000 in 1 month. So I told myself I would do it for 4 weeks. That was it. And I made the $3,000 showing bathing suit pictures and doing videos of me jogging in slow motion down the street. But then, what did I do? I turned my life back over to Christ, and I decided to start writing this children's book. I was always one of those people that was just like, no, I'm not going to teach. That's not for me, blah, blah, blah. And then as I started teaching in China, I realized I really had a passion for it. So I started this book. I actually haven't. Plug the plug. Kaylin Moves to China, and it's the book series, The Amazing Adventures of Kaylin the Kid Traveler. It's inspired by my real life experiences as a teacher and person of color living abroad. I think it's important that children, specifically children of color, see themselves in the characters they read and learn about. It's also now available on my website, KarinaWorldwide.com. And if you want a signed copy, just purchase it on the website, or you can purchase it on Amazon. I'll link both links below. So now we can talk about entanglements. Ciao. Now, you know earlier I said the ghetto? This was the ghetto. So I started dating. So let's talk about some of my dating horror stories. And I'm not gonna go into detail, no. But we had the love triangle with a guy who said he had been interested in me for a long time. Things are going great for the first 2 months. Then I find out that he's actually in a situationship with another girl who was legit like, nah, I'm not letting go. Stuff was toxic there. Then I had the situation with the sex offender. And which is crazy because usually I'll just start Googling guys when I'm talking to them. Like, I just want to fact check, make sure you don't have any, you know, priors or anything that's going to jeopardize my freedom in life, you know? You know what they say, well, it's done in the dark comes to light. I didn't even Google him because everything seemed so perfect. It was him that actually made me Google him. Like, we were sitting like chilling watching a movie and he started talking about his friend and how he Googled his friend to fact check his friend. And I was like, well, I'm gonna Google you. And the look he gave me, he was looking down, he was like, and he just went back to what he was doing. I Googled him and his name popped up on a sex offender registry. And I was just like, and y'all, at that moment, I was just like, oh, I gotta go. And he's like, why? And then I was just like, I just gotta go get something out the car. And then I left. And he hit me up a few days later, like, hey, what's wrong? I didn't want to go into detail about, you know, what happened. And granted, there are situations where, you know, he's 18, she's 15, situations like that. However, first thing I was thinking about was, what if we have a kid? Like, and that's actually a bird, y'all. That's because I'm looking at him. That's a bird. Child. So first thing I was thinking about was, let's say we have children one day and we have a parent-teachers meeting. Like, I gotta zoom you in, like, hold on, let me. First thing I was thinking about was, what if we have a kid? Like, and that's actually a bird, y'all. That's because I'm looking at him. That's a bird. Child. So first thing I was thinking about was, let's say we have children one day and we have a parent-teachers meeting. Like, I gotta zoom you in, like, hold on, let me. And that's selfish. If anybody, listen, anybody who might know someone who's a sex offender, I'm pretty sure, like, don't take offense. This was just my whole thing. It's my video, so I'm talking about what I went through. So that was that. Then I had the pathological liar, y'all. Like, this boy was lying about everything. Like, it got to the point where I was just like, this takes the cake. This man lied about his name. He lied about his age. He lied about how many kids he had. He lied about his job. Like, he's just lying so much that, you know how people lie so much that you don't even question it. You just be like, Because in your mind, it's like, yeah, this is fake. But I was just like, So I had to stop with that. So I got a new car. I got a new car. Y'all, from January until mid-September, I was in a rental car. The lady from Enterprise legit called me one day and was just like, would you like to talk about leasing options maybe, because you're reaching $9,000 in, you know, your rental fees that you've been paying, but leasing might be better for you. I didn't even notice it was $9,000. And that's the crazy thing, because I was paying, like, you know, it fluctuates. So I would pay like $800, $900, $1,000 here. Wasn't even paying attention to the fact that it was actually racking up. And I was like, yeah, I can't do this anymore. So I went to a dealership, and when I was looking at the cars I wanted, I thought back to the time when I graduated from college. I graduated from an HBCU, South Carolina State, Bulldogs, woof, woof. So when I graduated, I went to the dealership and I was like, I'm gonna treat myself. I'm gonna get this car. And I wanted a Mustang. And by the time the guy finished running my credit, he was like, baby, you need a cosigner and you're not gonna be able to do this. You want me to show you what a Nissan Sentras are? You like that? That's a good one. But you can't get that one. That's a newer model. Look at these. So I went to the dealership and I was like, you know what? I want a Mustang. And guess what I got? A Mustang convertible. And I was so happy too, because when I graduated from college, my credit score was a 545. Like, I had messed up my credit so bad, y'all. I was just like, whatever. But as you get older, you realize the importance of a credit score. That just wasn't something that we talked about growing up, like the importance of a credit score. So as I grew older, I started realizing, like, girl, you can't get anything without, you know, credit. So I started working on that, and I was able to get my Mustang without a co-signer. So that was an accomplishment too. I think with 2020, I was so stuck in a space of, I gotta get my money, I gotta get my money. Then when I got there, I gotta save it, I gotta do this, that I lost that kind, you know, side of me. And I think I became so disconnected. So I wanna get back to just knowing, like, doing kind things for people, those kind of things that makes me feel good. But for 2021, I really just want to focus on, you know, mental health, my emotional health, my just my health overall. And money, of course, is good, but there are a lot of things that are way more important than money. And I'm proud to say I was COVID free this year. So I'm ending 2020 COVID free. Y'all, another thing is these COVID tests, a lot of them are free. Go ahead and get tested. Some people, I feel like they're starting to treat COVID like it's an STD, like, oh, I don't want my results. Go get tested. I don't know about anybody else, but my mother is not well. Like, she is someone that I would want to make sure she never gets COVID. My grandparents are old. I want to make sure they never get COVID. Yeah, I might be able to bounce, and I don't even know that. We always be saying we healthy. Child, it's probably some underlying issues I got going on that I don't even know about. But it's not just about me, it's about them. As I say, that's why I'm in Peru. But I am really good about, you know, social distancing and doing what I need to do, sanitizing my hands, and staying prayed up. But I'm excited for 2021. Let's just use 2021 as the year of no excuses. Let's get on it. I always want to say, let's make this money. Let's not care about the money as much as, you know, happiness, finding happiness. That's my goal. I'm 31. I want to get married. Not right now, like maybe in 2022. But I would love to find companionship and, you know, someone to share this travel life with, and someone to put a bun in the oven, because I think I would be a bomb mom. Y'all know it. But yeah, just getting my mind and my heart in the place where I can receive that. So I'm going to get ready to enjoy Peru for my first day. I'm excited, and I'm gonna let you guys in on it. Maybe I'll do a few videos, let you guys see the place. But see you guys in 2021. In this year with a subscribe, that's worth it. Hit the bell so you can stay up to date on what's going on in my world. I'm gonna give y'all a tour of what outside look like. I think I might be in the hood a little bit. But yeah. All right, guys. So see you in 2021. Bye.